Arsenal to snap Tielemans in the summer, meaning that they are so much interested, and it's one of those teams that really typed to go ahead and really sign Youri Tielemans in the summer because he's going to be a free agent. Looks like Arsenal is targeting very many free agents because yesterday I came here and told you about Marco Asensio as how Arsenal are really planning a pre-agreement with Asensio because he's going to be a free agent in the summer and is allowed to sign a pre-agreement with a team outside La Liga. And Arsenal is one of those teams that have really gone ahead to show interest to sign this player known as Marco Asensio. A story coming in from the Mirror today has confirmed to us that Arsenal is really waiting for the agents of Marco Asensio to fly to London to really negotiate these deals. And we're having the former Arsenal scout who really came out and really spoke about why Arsenal never signed Jude Bellingham from Birmingham City. And Ian Wright, one of the Arsenal legendary strikers at the club, has really come out and really hailed Harry Kane, having hit 267 goals, breaking Jimmy Greaves' records, the all-time goal scorer of Spurs, confirming to them that Harry Kane will continue to score more and more important goals for Arsenal, because that goal he scores for Arsenal, it puts Arsenal comfortably into the first position with Man City 5 points behind Arsenal. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. Smash the like button, comment and share. My name is Rokani David, and we are summing up our day today with this story that everyone is really waiting for. Now, a little bit of update. Jesse Marsh, the coach of Leeds, has been sacked today, and Chris Amers, who was his assistant, is the interim, and they are looking in for replacement for this manager of Leeds. So another manager has been sacked. Remember, I think last week we saw Frank Lampard getting sacked. Which other manager was sacked recently? There are close to 6 managers have been sacked. Scott Parker was the first manager to be sacked this season. Frank Lampard was sacked. Steven Gerrard was sacked. Frank Lampard has been sacked. Jesse Marsh has been sacked. The manager of Wolverhampton Wanderers was sacked. Bruno Raj. So close to 6-7 managers have lost their jobs in the Premier League, and kudos to Mikel Arteta and other managers are really having a strong command into their managerial positions at the clubs where they are. Now, yesterday I came in here and told you that a pre-agreement is being arranged between Arsenal and the agents of Marco Asensio to come in through and really sign the player from Real Madrid. Now, the latest development indicates that Arsenal have gone ahead to schedule a meeting with the agents of Asensio. Marco Asensio and his agents are due to fly to London, I'm told, this week. A story is coming in from the Mirror from a man known as Tom Hopson, chief reports reporter for the Sunday Mirror and Sunday People. Then Kieran King is a football writer for Mirror Football. He has confirmed to us that Marco Asensio agents will fly to London this week to get a feel for Premier League interest in their client. They are due in London to talk to Arsenal about the player whose contract expires in the summer, and Arteta is a huge fan of the player. Now, I think there must be something close for this guy, because if there is a pre-agreement and now the agents are flying to London, that shows you that there is something close that maybe Arsenal and Marco Asensio are really reaching at. What is the genesis of all this? Marco Asensio is earning £118,000 a week at Real Madrid. He wants a salary increment for him to put pen to paper, and obviously that will call for a sign-on fee that Real Madrid don't want to offer. However much, he's going to be an important cog into what they are going to receive or be getting this season at the Santiago Bernabeu. That is at the Santiago Bernabeu. That's the stadium of Real Madrid. So Marco Asensio wants out of the club because they failed to really fulfill his demands. He has been a royal servant. I think he's an academy graduate, and obviously he's one of those players that have gone ahead to really be consistent at Real Madrid. In the previous 3 games Real Madrid has really played, he has started 2 and he netted a winner, I think, in the game they played last weekend, but won. Swift left foot, very good player, jinking feet. He sends people the wrong way. He's one of those players that you would love to see at your club, especially Arsenal, as either a competitor of Bukayo Saka, because I don't believe that Marco Asensio is really a player who won't really awaken Saka. When you put Asensio into that team, every time Saka goes on that pitch, is going to give you more than 100% he was giving you in the previous games he has been at Arsenal. Reason being, he knows that he's the man. He's the only player who can play that position. And whether he plays well or good, it's up to him. So, how do you really get Saka to the levels of getting you something that he has never gotten you a season? Getting Marco Asensio. And him being on a free... He being a free agent, I believe it's really going to be something very great in the summer. Arsenal tried to go in for this guy, and it was a 30 million euro deal that was caused by Real Madrid. And Arsenal said, why should we spend 30 million euros on a player who is going to be free in the summer? So, and Arsenal were right, because for Odegaard, he had close to 2 years left on his contract at Real Madrid, and they paid 30 million, was it 35 million euros? And obviously, he got himself a move back to Arsenal. Then for Marco Asensio, he's trying to do the needful and his agent to get this done and dusted. Florentino Perez, the president of Real Madrid, is a fan of the player. He has tried to really mend their broken relationship, because he once told Carlo Ancelotti that please stop playing that player, because he doesn't want to put pen to a new contract that we are giving him. But all in all, it's good news for Arsenal fans all over the world watching in this channel. The agents of Marco Asensio are expected to fly to London to hold talks with Arsenal and agree on that pre-agreement, because there is no way they can agree on a pre-agreement we talked about yesterday without meeting in London to discuss everything that the team is all about. So it looks like Arsenal are really in for this player known as Marco Asensio for real. And let's wait and see how these developments are going to go, because you can sign a player like him even before the end of the season or beginning of the summer. You do a pre-contract with him, no sooner 30 June knocks than he becomes your player and you unveil him. And I believe it's good to see that Arsenal is really doing these deals early enough, because I would love to see Mikel Arteta obviously go with all the players, that almost 90% of the players he wants to be with him on the tour. Look at how Arsenal really kickstarted off this season. They went on tour to play their first game in Nuremberg in Germany, when they're having Fabio Vieira, though he was injured. They're having Marquinhos, they're having Matt Turner, they're having Gabriel Jesus. The only player they added on was Zinchenko, and he found them in America. And in America, he played 2 games. One against Everton and the other against Chelsea. It shows you that he had already integrated into the team. By the time they played their last game at Emirates against Sevilla, everything was done and dusted, laid in line. These players had really coerced up together. The patterns, the sequences, the triangles had developed together. That's why they've started off the season with a very huge bang. Ever since the season started, Arsenal has never gotten off the top of the Premier League table. That's why they are there, playing 21 games, losing 2, drawing 2, winning 16. That was due to the signings coming in early enough. So, if they get in Marco Asensio early enough and he integrates into this team of Arsenal, obviously, that will be a very huge boost to Arsenal. It will be a very, very huge boost to Arsenal. And let's wait and see what Marco Asensio's agents are really going to go ahead and really discuss with Arsenal this week. When they arrive, we'll let you know that they are in London, and we'll be letting you know what they've gone ahead to discuss about with or agree on with Marco Asensio. The other player that we're talking about today is all about Youri Tielemans. Tielemans is a player that Arsenal have been chasing for now. It's going to be the 3rd summer. This time around, they're having a chance. Tielemans went ahead to tell his club that is playing right now and where he's being contracted, Leicester City, that I'm not renewing my contract. That's it. For 2 summers, Arsenal came here with the first bid of £45 million. He said he wanted 60. They never took me. I had agreed personal terms with them. Then, for the second summer of 2021, of 2022, they came back with 25 million pounds when I'm left with just 1 year on my contract. You guys let me to go. Stopped me to go to that team. Now, this time round, it's me in control. Because of what you did, I believe even if I put pen to paper and the team comes with the money that I'm really valuable in, you guys won't sell me because you got me here from, is it Lyon in League One, from League One, for less than 20 million pounds. You are making a profit of close to 30 million pounds and you never really allowed me to go. I would have been a player playing at Arsenal right now. So this time round, he has chosen not to really renew his contract. And secondly, Fabrizio Romano confirmed to us that he made up his mind with his agent that in January, they are not leaving Leicester. They want to play, football for the remaining 5 months, then be a free agent. And Tielemans is really going to be a hot cake. I believe Man City will be lining up for him. Arsenal will be lining up for him. Manchester United will be lining up for him. Liverpool will be lining up for him. And I believe Chelsea will be lining up for him. Now, he has put himself in the shop window and it's going to be the highest bidder takes it all. Does Arsenal really hold a chance? I doubt. But let's see what Steve K is telling us, because Steve K is really a very reliable source that has really made me believe in him in the January transfer window. He's telling us that Marco Asensio's agents, not Marco Asensio's agents again, it's going to be Tielemans. Steve K is telling us that Arsenal are still being tipped among the main candidates to snap up Tielemans if he's available on a free transfer in the summer. We know that he wanted to move to the Gunners throughout the summer, but Leicester wanted more money than Arsenal offered. Now, talking about being the main candidates. You know, I'm 50-50 over this deal that Arsenal going twice for this player are not really signing him. Yet they've gone ahead to splash 78 million pounds on Caicedo, 88 million pounds for all on Modric, and they didn't get him. I don't believe that left Tielemans well, unless otherwise they have already agreed and said, all right, we are going to come for you in the summer and you're going to be a free agent. We are willing to give you 10 million pounds of sign-on fee with a huge salary of 250,000 pounds a week. Unless otherwise they had already agreed a deal like that. But if not, if that's not the case, it's really going to be hard for Arsenal to convince Tielemans to go ahead and really play for them the game, because other teams are really going to be in for him as a free agent. United will be lining up for him. City, remember City are going to lose Bernardo Silva again, so they might find him as a liable replacement for Silva and the other German international known as Iko Gundogan. So Liverpool having a midfield crisis, they might be wanting him because Jurgen Klopp has been a long-time admirer for the player. Then Erik ten Hag also tried to sign this guy in the summer of 2022. So I think Arsenal needs to go with a convincing tongue to really see to it that they really get Youri Tielemans' heart back to where it's supposed to be, because looks like he was betrayed by Arsenal. You get? Because if you want me, why didn't you do what you did for Caicedo? You get? And you threw on the money. If you really wanted me, you would have gone ahead to do exactly what you did for Caicedo. Why didn't you do exactly what you did for Caicedo? That's one of the questions I think the agent is really going to go ahead and really talk about. That's why in the January transfer window said, I'm not leaving. I'm not going anywhere. I'm running down my contract such that I sit down with my agent and we decide the best future for us as Tielemans and my agent. So I think he's right, because right now the game of football is all about money. Every agent would love to see to it that he really takes his client to a huge team and obviously get in some money. Youri Tielemans, right now, you give him a sign-on fee between 10 and 15 million pounds. That's it. Then you will see him get a salary between 250,000 pounds to 300,000 pounds because he's coming in on a free. One thing he has to go on and really do, he has to retain back his form that he really had before the World Cup break, because before the World Cup break, Tielemans was on fire. He was really firing in goals left, right, and center. This time round, if he really fires in like that, Oh, he's really going to be on a high demand because he's a very good and quality player, Youri Tielemans for you. So Arsenal are tipped to be the main candidates to really land the deal of Tielemans in the summer. Let's wait and see how that comes to pass in the remaining times of the window. Now, let's talk a little bit of Jude Bellingham being linked to very many other teams. He was literally linked to Arsenal, but I don't see Arsenal spending close to 120 million pounds for a player like Jude Bellingham, because their position that they're really focusing for all on is the midfield, and that's why it was told to us in the January transfer that Arsenal have really made Declan Rice their summer priority signing. So we've been told by the agent of Arsenal, known as Francis Kakigogo. This guy is the one who really scouted Martinelli and brought him at Arsenal. He's a former scout of Arsenal. He has informed us that I saw Jude Bellingham for the first time when he was 16 years old. I wanted to sign him for Arsenal, but he was already too expensive. And obviously, at the age of 16, to buy a player at close to, was it 30? I think they bought him at like 30 million pounds. Not so? I think they bought him at like 30 million pounds. If I'm not mistaken, 30 million pounds. And Arsenal couldn't raise that amount of money by then because they thought that it was too much for a player who is 16 and for a player who is really going to be developed in a league like the Premier League, and you want to really put him to your direct team. Spending 30 million pounds on him, I also support Arsenal. Do you know why Borussia Dortmund did that? He was a prospect, and they're good at developing young players, and they had promised him first team football. That's why he snubbed Manchester United and said, I'm going to Borussia Dortmund. But I believe Jude Bellingham and his agent did the best for themselves. Now, they might beat the record of Enzo Fernandez come the summer by being bought at 120 million pounds. Remember, Enzo Fernandez was bought at 105 million pounds from Benfica to Chelsea. So now Jude Bellingham might find himself in that position of being one of the most expensive midfielders in the world. Real Madrid, Liverpool, Chelsea, and very many others are really into this battle to sign a player known as Jude Bellingham. But Arsenal were also tipped a little bit that they would love to have him at the club, but he's expensive. But you never know what Arsenal is going to do in the summer, because if they made a bid of 88 million pounds for Mokalo Modric, a player who is not proven in the Premier League, and 70 million pounds for Caicedo, that means in the summer they are willing even to spend 100 million pounds on a player. I believe it, because in the January transfer window, it's hard to see a team spend that amount of money. If they've gone in for that amount of money, then in the summer, it's going to be ridiculous for Arsenal. They might say, Jude Bellingham, we want you at Arsenal. We are paying for your transfer fee. 120 million pounds, equivalent to 140 million euros, is the amount of money that we are offering to Borussia Dortmund. And for Borussia Dortmund, it's going to be who is the highest bidder to take the player. Provided the player agrees to go that side, then they'll sell the player that side. With the performance of Arsenal topping the Premier League and looking like they're going to win their first trophy in the past 20 years, why don't you think Jude Bellingham won't sign for Arsenal if they go in for him? So you never know what will happen, but I am expecting a very, very, very competitive summer for Arsenal, because they've gone ahead to miss out on very many targets. You get? They missed out on Mokalo Modric. Caicedo is not here. They'll go all out. João Felix, they never got him. This time around in the summer, I believe they'll go on thick and hard. Now, you know, Ian Wright, legendary at Arsenal, one of the goal scorers that was even managed by Arsene Wenger, he works on TV and he has what we call the Kelly and Wright show, a show that is really held every time the Premier League is done on Saturday and Sunday. They come through on Monday and they give their deep analysis of this of these games that were really completed by the Premier League teams. Now, he said the following on Harry Kane. He's still scoring very important goals, not for him, but for Arsenal as well. So, the goal Harry Kane scored against Man City put Arsenal in a more comfortable position. That they lost the game against Everton. Harry Kane scores, obviously gives Arsenal a 5-point lead. If they win their game in hand, Arsenal will be 8 points ahead of City. So guys, I think he's right. He's scoring the goals for himself. They're helping his team Spurs, but they're also helping Arsenal to really stay strong into the first position of the Premier League. Though the lead is not commanding, it's not as healthy as that, but I think City behind you by 2 points is more really a threat than a City behind you by 5 points. Not so? So guys, thank you very much for watching. Into Rokani David remains my name. Smash the like button, comment and share your reactions to Arsenal in a commanding position, all conditioned to sign Tielemans in the summer as a free agent. I welcome in the comment section below. What are your thoughts about Marco Asensio agents flying to London to talk to Arsenal? And Jude Bellingham, Arsenal wanting to sign him in the 2016, but I think it was 2019, but he was really expensive. And your thoughts? Would Arsenal have gone ahead and paid £30 million for Jude Bellingham by then? Then lastly, do you think Ian Wright is right when he talks about Harry Kane scoring goals for him that are useful for him and Arsenal, or that are important for him and Arsenal? Guys, may the Lord bless you abundantly. I sign out for now. See you later. Last video of the day. We are returning tomorrow with lots of news coming in from Arsenal. There is a Declan Rice story. There is a Savage story that I think you guys shouldn't miss out, and I'm willing to really offer them to you tomorrow morning. Good night. Bye-bye.